All right, so here we go. Um, as always, lots of charts, lots of things to watch. But as we go into this week, we are watching basically for SPY and QQQ to fall a lot more. Now on Friday, both SPY and QQQ puts they went over 300%. Up until I guess from the morning till 1 p.m. Eastern, SPY and QQQ were both kind of trying to hold up. And right after 1 p.m., they both just sank, and contracts went from zero point 0.8 to $1.60 to a 320 very quickly, very, very quickly. And even this morning, they've opened pretty negatively. And as soon as the morning bell hits, they should definitely start sinking a lot more because inflation plus the issues with Russia versus Ukraine are just causing more and more issues. And there's just no holding back from any of that. The Olympics are happening, Super Bowl just happened, and all of that's going along just fine. But it's not really helping the markets per se, right? Because all that money that comes in from these events is really not shunted into the markets in any way. It's all individualized to the companies that are involved with just that sports play. But borders are still not safe, and with Russia and Ukraine possibly going to war, a lot of tech companies have been told off. They're not going to be getting what they need, right? So it's really embarrassing because Biden and Intel had just a couple weeks ago talked about how they're going to figure out more development for more chips. And then now Biden's telling people from Ukraine, Americans from Ukraine, to come back to America, and that this war thing will basically most likely happen where Russia is just going to go ahead and attack and invade Ukraine just because he feels like it, right? Putin enjoys doing this thing where when there's a big event, like a big international event like the Olympics, he likes to cause conflict. Maybe he's not really a fan of watching the Olympics. So that's something that's been happening. As far as stocks we're watching, there's a lot. So all the charts are up, right? And for this week, I'm most excited for Nvidia earnings. Nvidia has been sinking. Now, looking at all the earnings we've successfully hit so far, anything that was sinking but is a company that's got good perspective just flew like crazy. Amazon being one of the biggest ones this past few weeks with their earnings, right? Amazon was going down, and then earnings brought it up a good 300, $400 instantly overnight. And that was beautiful. And it was going to go up because two things. One, it was already sinking, so people had already sold off, or two, it was a good price for where it could actually skyrocket up. And then two, because Amazon's a company that's far too successful, right, with the multiple branches it's involved in. Now, with NVIDIA, although it's been sinking, one of the things to keep in mind is that NVIDIA and AMD had both really hit very good highs pretty recently, right? They had great earnings. They had a lot of money flow. And then when it comes down to business, you can't really think of too many things out there where NVIDIA is making profit, right? There's just not many things out there. Like Amazon has Amazon Web Services, the delivery services. They have vegetables and fruits and stuff and everything. They can practically cover anything. They're involved in so many different outcomes and flows of income for themselves. So NVIDIA and AMD don't really have that. So here, both statements are no longer true that the stock is also falling, plus the stock has really good development and income. So here I would assume it's very likely that they could just sink, especially given the fact that tech is really sucking it right now with the issues that are happening in the world. So I'm going to be watching how they move. If I start seeing that NVIDIA and AMD are moving upwards as it approaches earnings, then I'm even going to be more inclined to get puts. And since two statements will both become true, that the company is not doing too well and the company is going up, then it's most likely going to sink after earnings, right? That's the thing I've noticed. So let's see how NVIDIA does as it approaches earnings day. And of course, watching Tesla as well. Tesla is a huge deal because it's just the contracts may be expensive, but they quadruple so quickly in a day. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. And I expect Tesla to be falling more. They had news over the weekend where the company is getting sued as well. And last time the company was getting sued, it actually went up, but not this time. So we're going to be watching that. And look, earnings for NVIDIA are going to happen right here, Wednesday. I'm also going to be watching AMC since it's basically a crypto / meme stock at the time. since it has earnings on Wednesday, I can imagine that it's going to be going up. But market conditions are looking so bad, it might just be fluctuating up and down and never really make it anywhere. So we'll see what happens as we continue on with the day. And all the plays I make, I'm going to go ahead and keep alerting them and just, be careful with what you go into. Puts are safer than calls right now. And the market shifts like crazy depending on what time it is. In the morning, it might be going in one direction, and then after 12, after noon, it just starts falling in a different direction. So you have to be very careful with what you grab and when you grab it, and taking profits very, very essential. So let's see what happens as we go into the week, and just stay available for all the alerts I'll make. And good luck today.